Imagine if there was one habit so powerful that it could improve almost every area of your life. A habit that helps people build successful careers, stay healthy for decades, develop meaningful relationships, and achieve goals that most people abandon. Not discipline, not motivation, not talent, something even more fundamental. Because if you look closely at highly successful people, whether they're best-selling authors, elite athletes, business leaders, or simply people who seem to have their lives together, you'll notice they all share one invisible habit. And the strange part, most people overlook it completely. The difference between achieving your dreams and watching them slowly fade away may come down to this one simple daily practice. There's a common belief that successful people possess extraordinary qualities. We imagine they have more intelligence, more willpower, more confidence, or some secret advantage that the rest of us don't. But the truth is often much simpler. Success rarely comes from one dramatic moment. It comes from small actions repeated over and over again. And behind those actions is a hidden habit that acts like a parent to every other good habit. Think about it this way. A tree doesn't begin with branches. It begins with roots. The stronger the roots, the stronger everything else becomes. In the same way, there is one mental habit that creates discipline, consistency, focus, persistence, and growth. Without it, even the best plans eventually fall apart. With it, progress becomes almost inevitable. Let's begin with a story. One of the most successful writers in modern history has sold hundreds of millions of books worldwide. His stories have been translated into dozens of languages. His work has inspired movies, television series, and generations of readers. Yet if you looked at his daily routine, you might be surprised by how ordinary it appears. Every morning he sits down and writes, not when inspiration strikes, not when he feels motivated, not when conditions are perfect. He simply begins. Some days are easier than others. Some days the words flow effortlessly. Other days they arrive one sentence at a time. But every morning he knows exactly what he is trying to accomplish. Before the day even starts, he has already decided what matters. That decision changes everything. Most people assume his success comes from talent, but talent alone cannot produce decades of consistent work. What keeps him moving forward is something deeper. Every day, he remembers what he wants, and because he remembers, he takes action. Now let's move to a completely different area of life. Imagine two people. The first person constantly talks about wanting better health. They buy fitness books, watch workout videos, follow nutrition accounts online. Every January, they promise themselves that this will finally be the year they get into shape. But somehow, the months pass and very little changes. The second person may not know much more than the first. They don't have perfect knowledge. They don't follow a complicated system. But every morning, they wake up and ask themselves one simple question. What can I do today to become a healthier person? Because that goal remains in their mind, their behavior begins to change. They choose water instead of soda. They take a walk after dinner. They spend 10 minutes exercising instead of scrolling on their phone. The actions seem small, almost insignificant, but over time, those tiny decisions compound. Months later, they feel stronger. Years later, they barely resemble the person they used to be. What caused the transformation? Not a miracle, not motivation, simply remembering what they wanted and finding ways to move toward it every day. This is the hidden habit. Every day, remember what matters to you, then look for a way to move one step closer. At first glance, this sounds almost too simple. In fact, many people dismiss it because it sounds obvious. But think about how many goals fail for one reason. People forget them, not intentionally. Life just gets noisy. Work becomes demanding. School becomes stressful. Responsibilities pile up. Notifications compete for attention. Days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, and somewhere along the way, the dream quietly slips into the background. Most people don't fail because they choose the wrong goals. They fail because their goals disappear from their awareness. What your mind focuses on consistently grows stronger. What your mind ignores gradually fades away. That's why people often feel inspired after reading a book, watching a motivational video, or attending a seminar. For a brief moment, they remember what they truly want. But inspiration alone doesn't last. The memory fades, and when the memory fades, so does the action. Imagine planting a seed. Would you expect it to grow if you only checked on it once a year? Of course not. You would water it regularly, protect it, pay attention to it. Growth requires repeated attention. Work exactly the same way. A dream you think about once a year remains a dream. A dream you revisit every month has a chance. A dream you revisit every day begins to shape your identity. Let's take another example. Imagine someone who wants to learn English. At the beginning, they don't know the perfect method. They're not sure which app to use, which course to take, which strategy works best. Many people stop right there because they believe they need the perfect plan before they begin. But our learner decides to do something different. Every morning, they remind themselves, I want to become fluent in English. Then they ask, what can I do today? The first answer is simple, review vocabulary. So they review vocabulary. A few weeks later, their vocabulary improves. Then a new opportunity appears. They begin reading short articles. A month later, they start listening to podcasts. Then they try speaking, then writing, then having conversations. Notice what happened. They didn't discover the entire path on day one. The path revealed itself step by step, because every morning their mind continued searching for the next solution. This is one of the most remarkable abilities of the human brain. When you consistently focus on something important, your brain starts looking for opportunities connected to it. You notice resources you previously ignored. You discover ideas that were always there. You begin asking better questions. Solutions appear because your attention is pointed in the right direction. Now think about relationships. Many people believe strong relationships happen naturally, but healthy relationships, like everything else, grow through attention. Imagine waking up each morning and asking, what can I do today to make someone's life a little better? Maybe you send a thoughtful message. Maybe you listen more carefully. Maybe you express gratitude. Maybe you choose patience during a difficult conversation. Again, the actions seem small, but over months and years, those moments create trust, connection, and love. The relationship becomes stronger because you kept remembering its importance. This is why the hidden habit is so powerful. It works everywhere: health, career, learning, friendships, marriage, business, personal growth. The specific goal may change, but the process remains the same. Remember what you want, then look for a way forward today. Not next year, not someday. Today, many people spend years waiting for motivation, but motivation is unreliable. Some mornings you'll feel inspired, other mornings you won't. The people who make extraordinary progress are not the people who always feel motivated. They're the people who keep their goals visible. They don't allow themselves to forget. They write them down, review them, think about them, talk about them. They keep them alive in their minds, and because the goal stays alive, action follows naturally. If there is one lesson to remember from all of this, let it be this: your future is shaped by what you repeatedly bring into your awareness. What you think about occasionally changes very little. What you think about consistently changes everything. A goal that appears in your mind once a year is little more than a wish. A goal you revisit every few months is a possibility, but a goal you reconnect with every day becomes a direction for your life. So tomorrow morning, before the noise of the world rushes in, pause for a moment. Ask yourself a simple question: what do I truly want? Then ask another: what is one thing I can do today to move closer to it? Just one thing, one small step, one intentional action. Because remarkable lives are not built in a single day. They are built through thousands of days where people remember what matters and refuse to let it be forgotten. And sometimes that simple act of remembering is where every great transformation begins. This is all I want to share in this video. Hope you enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe and comment your thought.